This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young Titan, Aaron Atlas.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Danger Josh Crane.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is Sage Phillips, the Catch Wrestling Casanova.
This is Steve Wilson, the man behind former Impact Wrestling and current independent wrestling star, The Monster, Congo Kong.
This is Jake Something.
And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast. Hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
Whoa, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast, not about professional wrestling. I'm the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth, Dickie Wabash, joined as always by the one-man boy band, Michael Madrox.
I still need a new gimmick, but
got
good job
it all
on
in
that
one breath. Okay, then let's take time. Let's figure something out for you.
Yes.
Or do we just want to make it organic? Like just something comes up.
Let's try to figure it out. Let's give the people some little behind the scenes peek skis.
So I think that, so you say you're the one-man boy band, but I mean,
don't come out the Backstreet Boys anymore.
You don't anymore. And that is, and they call you like the one-legged wonder is a little bit, I feel, that's a little bit too soon maybe. I don't know.
I'm down with a one-legged wonder.
What?
I'm down with a one-legged wonder.
I don't. That's too generic, though, brother.
That's true.
That's too generic. I mean, we already call you Madrox, and you're based off of A, a comic book character, B, a rapper, and C, a serial killer.
Yes.
So to call you Madrox, but I don't know, man. I tell you what, I think that it's going to come with time because the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth just kind of came out of the blue. You're the one that said it. Here's the thing. You are good at coming up with things about other people, but you really can't think of them for yourself.
Brother, have you seen my wrestling career? I'm all about putting people over.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point ski. But I mean, you have a nickname, but we can't say that because it's a little bit behind the curtain ski. We got some inside jokes that stay behind the curtain. But anyways, I'm holding up the 4. But,
I got you, brother.
But anyways, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it'll just come with time.
That's fine.
It'll just come with time. Hey, maybe fans have got some suggestions.
I'm still
Who knows?
a 6th unofficial member, so it's okay.
I mean, this is true. Man, but now I'm just stuck on this.
Forget this whole podcast. This is just all about Michael Madrox.
No, we had to do some research for this podski, though, man. We got to stick with the theme because it's fresh in my mind.
That's true.
Yeah, it's very fresh.
So let's move on.
Yeah.
We'll
Before we
come back
move
to this
on,
later.
though, I just want to say that this podcast is brought to you by Sewer Layer Toys and Hybrid Championship Wrestling, but you're going to hear a little bit more about them later. That is, of course, unless you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back us at the $5 and above tier, where you are going to get this podcast absolutely ad-free. That's right. Back us at the $5 and above tier, get this ad-free and early, but you're also going to get access to paid show at the $5 and above tier. Also, everyone, we are deep in the middle of, I say the middle, it just started a couple of weeks ago, pilot season.
Yay!
Pilot season is going on over on the Patreon. Help decide the next MadBash show. There is going to be some good. Can I say good one more time? I'm going to say good one more time. Coming at the the $5 and the $10 tier. And then in December, you're going to get to vote. Your vote's going to be taken into consideration about what the next show is going to be. But anyway, enough about the Patreon. Here's the thing. Sometimes I understand, Madrox.
Enough about the Patreon, man. This is a long time coming. We're actually doing video shit.
I know. We're going to have some video stuff on there, too.
That's got me pumped.
But enough about the Patreon. Maybe you don't have the extra money to toss our way. I completely understand that. Life can be rough-ski sometimes. So you can support us absolutely free. Free. By hitting that 5-star review on your favorite podcasting platform, hitting the share button with someone that you think would like to listen to the podcast. Hell, the $5 tier has a 7-day free trial. That's free. But anyway, whether you support us on Patreon.com/MadBash Studios, or support us completely free in other means. We appreciate you so, so much. Thank you all for the love and support. Man, how's weekly treating you so far, Madrox? Are you
I don't
liking
like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. That means I got to see your face more.
Too much work.
Too much.
It's too much work. But
Not
hey,
really.
you know what?
It's fun work though.
It's very fun work, and we've reached the point where it's not work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuffski going on behind the scenes that it's like, yeah, this is absolutely work, and I'm stressed, and I fucking hate it. But at the end of the day, I get to podcast with the brother. We get to have a good time, and we get to watch some really good wrestling, which is what we did this week.
We did?
Yeah.
You mean it wasn't WCW?
So that was the biggest shocker for me, is that, last time I said we should watch the Raw that went head to head with this episode of Nitro just to see the stark differences. And hoo boy, I knew there would be differences, but I did not know that it was going to be this different. It's like in The Wizard of Oz. The movie starts off in black and white, and then Dorothy ends up in the land of Oz, and there's all this color.
Yes.
And you even messaged me, and you were like, so I'm finally doing the homework, and holy shit. And I was like, is that a good holy shit or a bad holy shit? And you're like, no, it's good. Because, man, I had a conversation with Jason V about this, and I was like, man, the 2000s with Raw just firing on all cylinders. It was great. Not to, bury the lead here a little bit, but he's like, why do you think I had so many of them recorded on VHS and I threw them out? And I said, you threw them out? I would have taken them. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
Dude, it was like night and day.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was. So again, this is the August 14th, 2000 episode of Raw. There's nothing particularly special about this Raw other than it was just going head to head with that Nitro. I say that, and then we watch it, and I'm like, oh my God, there was a lot special about this Raw.
Oh, yes.
This is 2 weeks before, SummerSlam 2000. And we are in the middle of the love triangle story with Triple H and Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon. And I have thoughts about that when we get to that. But anyway, so yeah, I hit play on this, and I got to tell you, that old intro kicked in.
That's the first thing I noticed, man. It hits different.
So anyway, again, just that nostalgia hit was right there.
Dude, even after the intro hit, like just seeing the crowd with all those damn signs was like mesmerizing. There wasn't nobody that didn't have a sign in that damn building.
But before that, I agree with you. The signs caught my eye, and I was like, holy shit, you just don't see this anymore. What about the fucking pyro? The budget that they must have had on pyro back during this time period was fucking insane, because this was what I would consider by today's standards. This was like WrestleMania pyro quality.
They lit that whole arena up.
Literally. And like I said, that is playing, and they're panning, and there's just all these explosions, and it's fucking loud, and there's all this fucking just the signs and which in stark contrast to the Nitro that we watched, where it's a cold open. Here's Vinny Rue just standing in the ring with a shirtless Tank Abbott. So from the start, it's already a better show.
Absolutely, man. Like, dude, just hearing JR welcome you to Monday Night Raw again, like that brought back so many memories, and fond memories at that.
Yeah. So we start, like I said, this is 13 days until SummerSlam, and the match going into SummerSlam for the title is a triple threat match, Rock, Triple H, and Kurt Angle. Well, we see a highlight video from SmackDown the previous Thursday where it was, my God, The Rock and The Undertaker versus Triple H and Kurt Angle.
Yes.
What a fucking main event. The 2000s roster was fucking stacked to the gills.
Even their like mid-card guys were main eventers.
And you got to think, Stone Cold's not even around at this time.
No.
This is after he got run over. So even without Stone Cold, to be able to look at this roster and say that it is still stacked, that speaks volumes. So anyway, we see this highlight video from The Rock and The Undertaker versus Triple H and Kurt Angle. And if I remember right, you can probably help me with this because I didn't write it down. Angle left the match with Stephanie, or Kurt left, leaving Triple H by himself.
No, Triple H left, leaving Angle by himself.
Yes. Okay.
Angle took their finishes, lost the match. Stephanie went in to go check on Kurt.
Yes, and then Triple H had to come down to save her because she was literally about to get rock bottomed by The Rock.
No, choke slammed. She did get rock bottomed.
Yeah, she got the rock bottom, about to get choke slammed. So then that's causing this whole thing of where Triple H is like, I had to come out and save you. And it's like, well, you wouldn't have had to come out and save if you wouldn't have left. And like, everyone in this love triangle story is gaslighting the other one.
Yes.
Triple H is gaslighting Stephanie. Stephanie is gaslighting Kurt. Kurt is gaslighting Stephanie. Stephanie's gaslighting Triple H. Everyone is getting gaslit in this fucking story. And as it goes on through the night, we're going to see even more so how that is in fact the case. So
the
anyway,
soap opera is real.
Yeah, this is now again to compare to the Nitro. The soap opera with David Flair coming out and being like, I don't know what's wrong with Stacy. I miss her and I love Stacy so much and I don't know what's wrong
That's
with
like
her.
comparing a
I don't know.
Lifetime movie network to a primetime television sitcom.
Yes, because at the same point that we're making here, there is a soap opera going on both shows. But the way that WWF is capitalizing on their soap opera as opposed to how WCW was, it's, again, we're going to say this a lot, night and day. So Kurt Angle is making his way to the ring for a promo. He gets in there and there is a vuvuzela in the crowd that we are going to be hearing a lot of tonight. Just at random points during the night. Oh, by the way, I want to point out too, we are just 6 years away from Perk Angle.
And I just want to point out that Kurt Angle got in the ring, got on a mic, and did not look dead in the camera and say, I'm going over.
Yeah, exactly. So Kurt Angle, they're in Providence, Rhode Island, or Province, Rhode Island, however you say it. I always fuck it up. And he's talking about how he's being such a good heel, Kurt Angle, here, because he's like, I'm an American hero, and it is important to be in every state. Yes, even Rhode Island. So the way that Kurt Angle got that cheap heat pop was expert. Fucking expert. Kurt Angle compares Triple H to Tanya Harding, which I thought was hilarious. And then he says Triple H leaving him he compared him to Nancy Kerrigan.
Did you catch the comparison between Nitro and Monday Night Raw, though?
In what way?
Both opening promos started the first chant of the night to asshole.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair because they were chanting asshole at Kurt Angle.
Yep.
So basically Kurt Angle is big mad, talking about how Triple H is just jealous of his relationship that he has with Stephanie. He's just trying to be good guy Kurt. Kurt Angle in this storyline is, again, we talked about the gaslighting of it. He's basically gaslighting Stephanie into thinking that Triple H is a piece of shit, but at the same time, he's working Triple H into being a piece of shit.
Yes.
So Kurt Angle is white knighting Stephanie here, is what he's doing.
Masterminding that bitch.
So then, all of a sudden, it's my time! It's my time! Plays on the loudspeakers. Triple H comes to the ring.
To a pop.
To a
hill.
Huge popski. Huge popski. They are just kind of going back and forth. Here comes the money. Shane McMahon, but this is pre-Here Comes the Money.
This is no chance in hell,
This
Shane
is no
McMahon.
chance in hell, Shane McMahon. He comes to the ring. He's trying to be the voice of reason. He's basically just talking to him, being like, guys, what are we doing? You guys got The Rock coming up. You need to focus on The Rock. You need to focus on The Rock. This is what you need to do. So then Mick Foley comes out to a huge fucking pop.
That's Commissioner Foley to you, sir.
Commissioner Foley. He gets his cheap pop in, or does he do that later?
He does it like 4 different times.
Yeah, right here in Providence, Rhode Island. Just talking all this shit, blah, blah, blah. He says tonight's main event is going to be Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Kurt Angle versus the Dudleys and The Rock.
Yes, sir.
Which, holy fuck.
That's a lot of star power.
Stacked.
Speaking of star power, though.
Yes.
Did you notice the one random guy in the short shorts sitting next to the barricade by the announce tables on the floor the whole opening promo?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
It's like his mom forgot to pack his school lunch
Now,
for
that
him.
was your uncle, right?
That was my uncle.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Chris Candivo.
Yes. So there's this stipulation added to the match that if Triple H or Kurt Angle walk out during this match, like they did on SmackDown, then they are taken out of the Survivor Series title match.
Yes, which is a good stipulation.
Very good stipulation. It's good storytelling.
What's that?
I don't know. So for those of you that don't know, this is the SummerSlam where Kurt Angle fucking gets knocked out.
Is it?
Yeah. It's SummerSlam 2000. Because if I remember right, the way the match was structured, they brawl out before the match starts, and he's about to pedigree him on the table, and then the table collapses.
Oh yeah.
And that's when Kurt gets knocked out, and then The Rock comes out and all this other stuff. So anyway, main event is set for tonight. The Dudleys and The Rock versus Shane and Kurt. But the way he sets it up is so smart because he's like, it's Triple H and Kurt Angle versus the Dudleys and The Rock. And Shane is like, but wait a minute, oh no, it's going to be a 6-man tag. You're the partner, Shane-O. And he's like, oh.
You're the glue to keep them together.
Yeah, you're the glue to keep them together is exactly what he says. And again, we're going into this with no context. And this is a little bit getting ahead of ourselves. But Shane McMahon's role appeared to be like he was the people pleaser all night.
Only for the heels, though.
Only for the heels. Because he was trying to smooth over...
It's like he had his own New Blood faction.
Yes. He was trying to smooth over Edge and Christian later. He's trying to smooth over Benoit later. He's trying to smooth over Angle and Triple H. But anyway. So... Speaking of Chris Benoit, we now cut backstage where he is arriving late. Something that would become somewhat of a pattern in Chris Benoit's career. I'm assuming that there were...
Wow.
I'm going to cut that out. Oh my God. I wrote the joke and then I was like, do I make that joke or not? But, yeah, that's the first time Dickie Wabash has crossed the line on Paid Show. Or on Spot Show.
Just wait until my joke later.
I might reveal the joke on Paid Show.
That's fine.
So stick around because that was a bad one. So Benoit is late to the show. He's arriving. He's trying to get into the locker room, and then Jericho jumps out of the locker room and just starts beating the fuck out of him.
With his metallic shirt.
Which is, oh God, Jericho's shirts in this time period were so great. But here's what's weird about this. Benoit is the heel. Jericho was the baby.
Did you call him Benoit?
Benoit. So the baby jumped to the heel. But we're going into, they had just come off of Royal Rumble 2000 where they had that banger ladder match.
Yes.
Benoit is up there as one of Jericho's best rivals.
Yes.
But I think Jericho's greatest rival of all time is Shawn Michaels.
I believe that.
Yeah.
The whole story was good.
That would be a good podcast to revisit that story and talk about it. Like watch all the segments, all the matches. That would be a good one.
MadBash Studios presents Rivals.
Yeah. Rip off the entire concept. So anyway, we cut to the back. This is over. I believe they get pulled apart.
Yep. Shane's trying to save the peace.
Oh
here.
yeah. Shane comes in and he pulls
Use
them
that
apart.
Attitude for the Undertaker later. We got bigger fish to fry, Mr.
Yeah,
Benoit.
yeah. Shane keeps saying that to Benoit as the show is going on. He's like, "You got to save it for Taker. You got to save it for Taker." So I can't wait to get to that match. So we cut now elsewhere in the back, and Kai and Tai knocks on APA's door, steps in, they're playing cards, and they say, "We want to make out with you." And Farouk is like, "Well, I will make out with you. Damn, I ain't going to make out with you." And he's like, "No," he said he wants to take us out. Take us out. And it's like, "Oh, okay." So where do you think this is going?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, he says they want to give them beer and money. Said that's all. Beer, money. They said, "We want to give you guys beer and money. We want to take you out." They're in Rhode Island, so they're probably going to end up at Tim White's bar. Hint, hint. Spoiler alert, they do. And yes, a brawl breaks out, but we'll get there later. Yeah. So we cut now to Eddie Guerrero and Steve Blackman versus TNA.
First match of the night, and as soon as I saw who was teaming together, I popped.
Latino Heat. That's my favorite thing. The way that King would say Latino Heat.
Yeah.
Was so good. And there's a part where there's a part right before this where Jim Ross says, "Dave Hebner had a heart attack. We wish him the best. He's speedy recovery. He's going to be back soon." And then King says, "Some people will do anything to get out of work." Okay. Little foreshadow ski there for you, Kinger.
Oh, the jokes on the commentary get worse throughout the night.
Oh, there's some bad ones.
I'm just saying, here comes Taz.
Yeah, almost as bad as my fucking Benoit joke. Yeah. So this is just your tag match. Trish is out there with TNA, of course. Chyna is out with Eddie. King is just losing his mind, talking about how much he wants to fuck Trish Stratus. And then he's like, JR's like, "Well, you can't discount Chyna." And he's like, "Well, you know, she's Mamacita."
Dude,
which was basically King's way of being like, "I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole."
Brother.
Yeah.
You keep undershadowing the fact that we had Steve Blackman teaming with Eddie Guerrero. Like,
yeah, no,
what a world.
No, I'm getting there. It was just so weird. So, at one point, there was a really, really cool tag combo from TNA. Albert hits a reverse Stinger splash in the corner, and I believe it's Blackman, feeds out, and then eats a big boot from Test.
Dude, Testa's big boot,
Yes.
unbeatable.
Yes.
Fucking beatable. That is the greatest big boot in pro wrestling history.
Yeah, Jason V, if you're listening to this, boot! Send me the compilation of all the Test big boots. It's an inside joke from way back in the day.
I'm a testicle.
Yes, I'm a testicle as well. I love Test. They botched the finish of this match, right?
No.
It looked botched.
They did not botch it.
So there's a ref distraction.
Before you get there, though, Blackman comes in and cleans house.
Oh, yeah, because Blackman is the hardcore champion.
Looks dead into the camera and screams, "Who's next?"
Yes. So Blackman is the hardcore champion. He forgets himself, goes outside, gets a kendo stick, and then there's this whole ref hullabaloo distraction. They come in with a kendo stick, hit Blackman, reverse the pin on Blackman, and then Eddie is just like a split second short from breaking the pin.
His timing's phenomenal.
But that's what made me think that it was botched, because it just felt so sudden. It just felt so sudden. So, cut to the back now. Kurt Angle is in the parking lot waiting for Stephanie.
With an umbrella. Not currently raining.
Yes. Triple H is watching on a TV, and he is livid. Just so mad.
Instead of going out there, though, he just continues to sit and watch.
But what makes him go out there is Stephanie finally pulls up, and then Kurt is like, "Steph, are you doing okay? Let me
get your bags.
Let me get your bag for you. Blah, blah, blah. Your husband's terrible. Let me get your bags for you. Your husband's a piece of shit. You should really value yourself." And then he kisses her on the cheek.
Yes.
And this is what sets Triple H off.
He still doesn't flip the TV. I was kind of disappointed.
But in my opinion, Triple H has no right to be upset. Do you remember how you married her, Trips? You date raped her, essentially.
Yes.
So
that turned into big love.
Yeah. So he's pissed, makes his way out. So now...
Cuts back to the arena, and I got to take it from here, Dickie.
Okay.
That damn buzzer siren goes off, and
Warning.
my life got happy.
Warning. Now, this is before Val Venus joins him, right?
Yes.
Or is he left?
No, it's before he joined him.
Because he's the IC champion right now.
Yes.
We'll get to him in a minute. So it's Goodfather, Bull Buchanan, and Stevie Richards. I don't remember this story at all. Apparently, Victoria started out as one of Godfather's hoes.
Yep.
And he fucking just shit whips her through a table.
Yes.
And she's wanting to sue right to censor.
Yes. That's actually because she got injured during a dark match and they needed to write her off TV right after her debut.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I don't remember this. Some of my memories of 2000 are fuzzy. They're there, but it's just I need that little push to remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, RTC get in there and Steven Richards, I do sincerely apologize on that one, is just running down the Hardys saying that the way they dress is bad influences. And the whole time I'm thinking, I can think of a lot of reasons that Jeff Hardy could be a bad influence, but
he wasn't there yet.
He says Lita's thong showing is one of the reasons. So they cut to on the Tron, they show Lita's thong sticking out and the crowd goes fucking ballistic.
Steven Richards would not say thong. Steven Richards said the most disgusting lewd undergarments he's ever seen.
Yes. So then the Hardys come out. This is a 2-on-3 handicap match. It's the Hardys with Lita versus Bull and Goodfather. There's a spot in this match that is really fucking funny to me. Bull Buchanan just picks Jeff Hardy up and then just throws him out of the ring. Just no regard. Just throws him out of the ring. Jeff Hardy lands on his feet, but somehow his forehead also hits the fucking mat.
I called that one the Eat Shit Jeff by Bull.
Yeah, that would be a good name for it.
During this match, I also had to mental note that it's so weird watching good wrestling after the last two WCW antics.
I mean, yeah, we've pretty much touched on that already, but I mean, it's the truth. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, to see good wrestling is
it's a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. To mention, they eat shit and die Jeff Hardy spot. Jeff is taking the heat during this match and they are laying it in on him.
Yes.
They are beating the fuck out of Jeff Hardy. Like he must have pissed him off in catering or something because they are laying it in on Jeff. At some point, Lita gets the hot tag. It's after a double DDT from Matt Hardy. Lita comes off with a moonsault and her knee hits Godfather right in the fucking face.
He receipts it later.
Hard. Yeah, he does. Yeah, like you can tell that he doesn't even try to catch her. He fucking boom. And I believe at this time, as I drop a pin, Lita was wearing a knee brace, right? Maybe it would have been under the long pants.
I'm not sure.
So that knee brace, if she was, regardless, fucking knee caught Goodfather right on the bridge of the nose.
And
that
you
had
could
to
tell
fucking
how
hurt.
happy he was about it.
Oh, well, you can tell here in a minute when he murder fucks her. So Lita does a dive to the outside onto Bull Buchanan, followed by a super kick from Stevie Richards. Stevie kick. Steven Richards has one of the most underrated super kicks in the history
of
professional wrestling.
Yes, he does.
He absolutely does. Do you remember One Night Stand 05? We're taking over. Super kick to, I think it was Dreamer.
I believe so.
It was either Dreamer or Sandman. It was one of them. Lita gets thrown back into the ring, and this is the receipt. Godfather picks her up in a shoulder breaker.
A reverse shoulder breaker.
A reverse shoulder breaker. And just has no regard for her well-being at all. Whips her. And he just deadlifts her up and just boom, right down on his knee.
He did a reverse style too, so she had nothing to grab on and brace for the impact.
Yes. So they go over, they being right to censor. Edge and Christian do a run-in. They're about to hit a concerto on Lita. Matt Hardy makes a really cool save where they're swinging and he dives and pushes Lita out of the way and like protects her on the ground.
You know what didn't age well about that whole segment?
What happened with Edge and Matt Hardy?
Matt saving Lita from Edge.
Yeah, no shit. So then they just beat up Matt and E and C leave. They're the tag team champions, by the way, at this juncture.
Commercial break.
And we come back to Kai and Tai and APA in a bar. And Bradshaw is not being politically correct during any of this.
None.
Because he looks at the two Japanese workers and says, round of kamikazes. Bradshaw also says, because they're saying sake. Bradshaw says, I ain't drinking sake, sucky, or nothing. So they're at the bar. They're having a good old time, just drinking.
You forgot Ron Simmons again with the language barrier when they started screaming sake.
Yeah.
You guys ain't sucking me.
Yeah. It just, I loved APA. Cut now, Stephanie is making her way through the building. Or no, wait a minute. I think
you skipped something, brother.
I think we missed a part. Oh, yeah. Because Triple H, earlier in the night, he confronts Stephanie about how it was bullshit that Kurt Angle kissed her, blah, blah, blah. I think it was before the Right to Censor match. Anyway, point is, we missed a segment. Sue us.
We're doing our best here, guys.
Yeah, so at this point, Stephanie is trying to leave, and Shane is stopping her. Shane is trying to keep the peace. He's like, Steph, come on, don't do this. Don't leave. But she ends up saying, fuck it, and she leaves. So we come now, Edge and Christian are making their way back out to the ring.
Which threw me off because they were just out there like literally less than 5 minutes ago and they had to come back out to their own music.
Yeah.
Wrestling logic.
And little do we know, we are about to witness history. Because Edge and Christian get in the ring and they say that they're going to hold a sit-down strike. They don't like how they've been treated over the last few weeks. They show videos of the Dudleys beating them up with tables.
It was a bucket full of haynosity.
Yeah. And they'd say just all these weird Edge and Christian things.
Yes.
They show videos of the Dudleys beating them up with tables. Videos of the Hardys beating them up with ladders. They demand that Mick Foley come out and do something about it. Mick Foley comes out and gets the cheap popski in once again.
With his beaded necklace.
Yep. I just want to throw this in there real quick. He ends up calling Jeff Hardy Jeff Hardley on accident. I don't remember the context in which he does it, but so Foley gets in there and he's like, I agree, you guys. I've been lax. I've been letting all of this stuff happen. I agree. I shouldn't have let all this happen. You have been mistreated. So I got good news for you guys. Your title match coming up with the Dudleys and the Hardys, they're not going to be able to get disqualified by using tables. And they're like, yeah. They're not going to be able to get disqualified by using ladders. Yeah. They're all excited. Because they're going to be in your match. Tables, ladders, chairs. Oh my. Goated. We just on a whim chose this Raw, and it's the Raw where Mick Foley announces TLC.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. That's when I texted you. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy that happened. Because it's just like we picked it on a whim and we're seeing history right there. That just goes to show you that doing these weekly Raw reviews, like just picking a random Raw or Nitro or whatever, you never know what you're going to see because during this time period, there was just so much stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff. And SummerSlam 2000 is a banger SummerSlam. I remember that SummerSlam. It's a good one.
We're like an hour into Raw at this point, right?
Just under.
And if you look back at the 3-hour pay-per-view of WCW, and the 3 hours of Nitro, like WWE's made everyone on their card a star and built towards something. WCW has, fuck Goldberg, I'm going over.
Yeah. WWE is doing a good job of establishing stars with everything that they are doing.
Yes.
And it's just incredible. But I'm going to tell you what is even more incredible, and we're going to hear about them right now. Let's take a word from our sponsors. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is powered by Sewer Layer Toys, located at 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute, Indiana. Guys, let me tell you one thing about Sewer Layer Toys, right? You're going to walk in, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you want to buy, and you're going to be thinking to yourself, man, do I really want to buy this? Do I really need this stuff? Well, yeah, you do. You're going to walk in there, you're going to see a plethora, an endless amount of vintage toys, of retro toys, of modern toys, of that toy that maybe you had as a kid and you vaguely remember it. You're going to see it there, very fairly priced. Listen, I go in there and I love it. I get most of my collectibles there. Same goes for Madrox. We love these guys. Go in there, tell them the Spot Show podcast sent you, just so that I can prove to Scott that people are actually listening to us and that we are actually worth tying our name to them. I'm joking, of course. Listen, Scott and Andrew are two great guys. They run a really, really good store located in Terre Haute. Again, if you go to 3197 South 3rd Place, that is behind the mall in Terre Haute, Indiana. Go in there to Sewer Layer Toys. You are going to find some really, really good stuff. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Hybrid Championship Wrestling, or HCW, if that's what you prefer to call them. Listen, Hybrid is an independent professional wrestling company based out of Terre Haute, Indiana. They have talent from all over the United States and are putting on star-studded shows all year long. But here's the thing about Hybrid. They are always looking for young new prospects and looking for new talent, sponsors, and business partners so that they can continue to bring you some of the best independent wrestling in the Midwest. If you want to go ahead, feel free to reach out to them on Facebook, Hybrid Championship Wrestling, on Twitter at HCW_live, or on Instagram at HCW Midwest. Thank you so much to Hybrid Championship Wrestling for sponsoring the Spot Show podcast. So we're back in the backstage area, and Shane is trying to calm his brother-in-law down. Triple H is just fucking livid, but this is where I made the note that this is where the gaslighting is coming into play, because Triple H goes, Kurt's the reason she left. Kurt's the reason she left. And it's like, Triple H, you were literally the one that yelled at her in the hallway.
To tell her to go leave.
And told her to go leave. Like, you're trying to gaslight Shane as well. Everyone's getting gaslit. Everyone. The audience is getting gaslit.
But a more important note. Shane McMahon on this episode of Monday Night Raw is getting the Great Muta treatment from the past WCW.
Shane McMahon has been in all but 2 or 3 segments.
Yes.
So far.
He's the Muta of the WWF at this time.
I never thought I would hear Shane McMahon compared to the Great Muta, but let's go.
Dude, if he eats a lamp on the next episode, I swear to God.
I do want to keep watching. Not for review purposes. We might, who knows? But just because, man, I feel like I'm in now.
Yeah.
Just
after one episode.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch the SmackDown. I want to watch everything up until SummerSlam. I might do that just in my own time.
Just think about that. WWF is building where a casual person can watch one episode and be drawn in.
Yeah, and I have more that I want to say about that once we get towards the end of the show that wraps up this era of wrestling so well, I feel like. So yeah, Shane is just trying to keep the peace. That's all Shane's trying to do. We cut now Well, first of all, we see Undertaker in the back just zooming on his motorcycle.
Vroom, vroom.
Just having no regard for where he's going. Now, the biggest bummer of the night so far.
The bummer.
Yep. Taker makes his way to the ring, and we get a shitty network dub. They dubbed over his "You've Done It Now" theme.
Yeah.
And right now, I believe at this point, I don't think he had started coming out to Limp Bizkit, but I think he was definitely coming out to American Badass. So I don't know, when did he start coming out to Limp Bizkit? That had to be 01, right?
It was around WrestleMania.
It had to be.
Because didn't they play him out at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Yeah.
That had to be... SmackDown Just Bring It came out.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation.
Undertaker came out to Limp Bizkit in 03, but at the time he was still, I don't remember. Because when did he start coming out to "You've Done It Now"? When was that?
That was Big Evil, I thought.
That was Big Evil. No, Big Evil was in 02, whenever he was like making Tommy Dreamer drink chew spit and stuff.
Oh.
We might need to do a retrospective of The Undertaker. At least the American Badass. Because here's the thing, guys. American Badass and Big Evil are two different things.
Yeah, they are.
This is American Badass Taker. Big Evil Taker is what I like. The Red Devil is what he was calling himself. Yeah. I liked Big Evil.
We need an Undertaker tribute shows.
Yeah.
Go through a decade at a time.
It's literally what I just said. You just summarized it better than I did.
Sound better.
So here comes Benoit being by the way, before this, Edge and Christian are trying to leave the building, and that's why I wrote down Shane's trying to calm everyone down. Shane's trying to calm ENC down, and they're like leaving, blah blah blah. But he's with Benoit, and he's like, Benoit, just focus on Taker, baby. So Shane comes to the ring with Benoit, again just pulling all that duty. And they show a clip from SmackDown a couple of weeks ago where Big Show killed Kane.
Yes.
Choke slammed him straight to hell, as they love to say. He took the girder off of the ramp, choke slammed him through the ramp, and he landed on concrete. There was obviously a crash pad, but...
That was a cut scene, brother.
It was cut. This is a pay-per-view quality match.
Yeah, dude. We got Dead Man versus American Badass. Like, who would have thought?
Okay, that one's not as bad as mine, but it's still pretty good. Here's what I liked about this match. Is both guys, Taker was using his size, and Benoit was using his speed.
His speed and his aggression.
Well, they were both showing aggression, but differently.
Dude, Benoit went 4 fucking minutes just kicking the Undertaker in the head repeatedly.
Yeah, he did.
Benoit won that aggression.
Yeah. There's a part where Taker gets poised for the goozle, but instead he just throws one of the damnedest lariats I've ever seen. You could tell that was the receipt for getting kicked so many times. Yeah. Really good match. Super, super good match. You guys should go out of your way to watch this one. It's really good. Shane comes in with the chair and gets the DQ. He does that diving Shane McMahon chair shot, which we didn't talk about this, but Devin Quinn did that at the Midwest Collective.
Did he?
Yeah, Devin Quinn did the diving Shane McMahon chair shot.
Quinn O'Mac.
Yeah, Quinn O'Mac. I'm doing the dance right now. You guys can't see it. But anyway, yeah. So, Benoit locks in the crossface on Taker.
And Shane McMahon, for some fucking reason, starts kicking Chris Benoit in the arm.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell that he's supposed to be kicking Taker, but he's kicking
Benoit in the arm.
Yeah. So, boom, Hellfire and Brimstone. That's gotta be Kane.
The return of Kane for the umpteenth time.
Kane comes back and JR is just losing his goddamn mind like he always did during this time period.
You notice when Taker's getting beat down, though, Kane couldn't make the save until they played his damn music.
Wrestling logic, brother. So they powder. Kane helps Taker up. And then choke slams him.
To hell.
Why, Kane? Why did you attack your brother? That's JR. Well, because JR, that's what they do.
Dude, just think of the time, effort, and energy. They wasted a broken ring spot in the middle of a card.
Yeah. Kane chokeslams The Undertaker through the ring, which was dope. But JR, again, is just losing his mind. It's like, are you not familiar with their story, Jim? That's literally what they do. Undertaker turns on Kane. Kane turns on Undertaker. Paul Bearer dies somehow. Literally, JR, they're going to be doing it again in 9 years.
Yes, as long as the executioner doesn't come back, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Terry Gordy. Kane gets on Undertaker's bike, and it just does not feel real. It just looks so funny.
Yeah.
He's just on Taker's bike and drives
Takes him
it
a
up
minute
the
to find
ramp.
how to start
He
it.
can't figure out how to start it. Then we cut to Michael Cole is at the Democratic National Convention. There's really nothing to say about that segment.
Smack down your vote.
Smack down your vote. Cut to the back. Taker is just pissed, telling people to get away from him. Get away from me. Blah, 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 blah. Get away from me. He's just sitting on the ground like, damn it. Blah, 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 you know. I don't know why I turned into Vince there.
Another Shane McMahon segment, baby.
Shane O'Mac, Seggy. Guess what? This entire segment, Kurt is just gaslighting Shane, trying to convince him that he's not the one in the wrong. It's Triple H.
Did you notice how abnormally Shane McMahon was sweating during this segment?
He's blown up, brother. He just did that diving chair shot. Yeah, Kurt is just like, I need to be alone for a moment. So he leaves. By the way, Benoit is there, but Benoit just leaves. While Shane and Kurt are talking, nothing really major is said other than Kurt is just like, I need to be alone right now, Shane. So he leaves, and then Shane is just like, oh, what, what?
I feel like there's a missed faction opportunity there. Like how badass would that have been? Benoit, Edge, Christian, and Angle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had Team Crisco,
yes,
which was Edge, Angle, and Christian.
Yes,
but so anyway, we cut now to Taz with 2 Z's versus good old Crash Holly. King is told to leave because this is in the middle of his feud with Taz.
Yeah, they had to be separated.
They're building
no
up to
contact
SummerSlam.
until SummerSlam.
Yeah, they're building up until SummerSlam. Man, they dropped the ball with Taz, man. They dropped the ball. He's only been with the company for 8 months, and they've already got him in the track pants.
Dude, track pants Taz hits different, though, than single
but
Taz.
it's just not, it's not my Taz, man. It's not my Taz. My Taz is singlet. My Taz is butcher singlet Taz with the towel over his head coming out, which we have some of that, but he's wearing track pants. He's
True.
dressed like Tolerant Zero.
Yes.
Love you, Zero. Taz is over just getting heat on JR, just being a bully, because the Taz character was meant to be a bully.
Yes.
And he is just being so mean to Jim Ross.
He called him numbface.
Yeah, I think he says numb nuts, and then he says, but you're numb face.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, God, what
Bell's
good
palsy jokes.
Damn it, pal. We got to have a chance to make fun of Jim Ross. Always got to work it in, pal. God damn. Standard Taz squash match. Holly doesn't stand a chance. Taz just throwing a motherfucker. Gets in with the Kata Hajime, the Taz mission. Jay Silva, Doomsday Zone. Trust me, when Silva hears that, he'll pop.
I guarantee it.
Taz goes over to JR and just starts beating him up. He pushes him. And what's funny about it is he pushes JR, but JR, ever the professional, is still calling the action.
Yes.
King's coming down to save me. King's coming down to save me. King comes down, takes off his shirt, chases Taz away.
I loved how he pushed JR, and JR ever so gently fell across 3 chairs that were randomly placed there so he didn't hit the ground.
But but again, ever the professional, he's still calling the action. Cut now, Kurt is back in the locker room, and he is told that someone wants to see him in the locker room in about a half hour.
Parking lot.
Sorry, in the parking lot. Kurt says, okay, I'll be there in a half hour. Really nothing, that's really all it is. Now we got DX in a handicap match versus Rikishi.
This is DX Light.
Yes. Who was in DX at this time?
Tori, X-Pac, and Road Dogg.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. So...
With their crappy Run DMC version of
no,
the song.
I love that theme.
You love that
Love
theme?
the King of Rock, y'all. The Kings of Rock, y'all. The Kings of Rock, y'all. Loved it.
Oh my God.
Loved it.
X-Pac solo theme hit harder than that song.
X-Pac. This is my -7 stars of the night.
This match?
-7 stars of the night. There's nothing to say about it.
They used the double shoulder claw.
They did, and that was funny. But what was even funnier is Road Dogg is getting the stink face, and they keep cutting back and forth between the stink face and X-Pac just laughing.
Just cracking
up laughing. They do use a double shoulder claw, and it was really cool. They get the pinfall, double pinfall. As Road Dogg is getting up from the pinfall, he stumbles and hits a fucking dab. He full-blown fucking dabbed because he was tripping and hit a dab. Too Cool comes and makes the run in. They end up doing the dance spot. Send the fans home happy.
Hey, brother. Too Cool did not wait for their music to hit before they saved their partner.
That means that they care about Rikishi more than Kane cares about Undertaker, which, I mean, he chokeslammed him through the fucking ring. So what do you want? Cut now. Triple H is in his dressing room. Someone wants to meet him in the parking lot in 10 minutes.
His TV was gone.
So it was gone. So what's going on here, Madrox? What's going on here?
Triple H thinks it's Stephanie. Kurt Angle thinks it's Triple H.
Who will it be? We'll find out. So now we have Chris Jericho versus Val Venus for the IC title. Val Venus is the Intercontinental Champion right now. And
this was my favorite stage of Val Venus' career.
Yeah. But I thought Jericho was the IC champion because I thought that's what him and Benoit were feuding over, but I guess I was wrong. Val Venus was with Trish. That was so weird to me. I don't ever remember that ever happening.
The Big Valvoski brought TNA in, brother.
I don't remember that.
We got to go back and do a history lesson.
We might. Like I said, I just need that push. I need that push. So when we do these retro reviews, I like to point out a Dickie Wabash ass call. A call that Dickie Wabash would absolutely make. So Jim Ross says, Val Venus breaking out those 1983 white boots looking like Mr. Wrestling 2. That is a Dickie Wabash ass call if I have ever heard
Yes, it is. Can we just say this match started out greatly?
It did.
Working the headlock into that big spin out powerbomb, like, wow.
Yeah. I don't remember the context for this. I have written down drop toe hold and Jericho almost breaks his neck.
That was on the turnbuckle.
Because he missed the middle buckle.
Yes, and he came down and his
forehead hit the bottom buckle and his head shit whipped back.
The only botch of the night.
Really. It really was. Jericho was not happy about that, by the way. You could tell. Benoit interference.
Benoit choked the life out of that match.
Benoit put Chris Jericho in the stiffest STF I have ever fucking seen.
That was phenomenal, though.
It was perfect. I'm not complaining.
Dude, the way he set that up and everything, the flapjack held onto the leg. More people need to watch that and do that.
Yes. Benoit, piece of shit, killed his family, fuck him. But when it came to technical wrestling, he's up there.
Yes.
He flapjacked Jericho. Jericho lands flat. Benoit, like you just said, held onto the leg and then stepped into a modified STF.
Into a crossface.
So he had the step over toe hold, but he didn't have a face lock. Because that's what STF stands for, step over toe hold face lock.
STC.
It was an STC. It was a step over crossface. And it was badass. Venus just fucking leaves. Benoit, I think they pull him off. Then he does the break from security, goes back and beats him up more. This feud's heating up.
Yes.
Is the point. But yeah, it was dope. That flapjack into holding the leg into an STF. goated.
That was
Goated.
my spot of the night.
Yes, that was the best move of the whole night.
Other than the Stevie kick to Trish in the face. Or lead in the face.
In the face, yeah. I don't know, man. The shoulder breaker was fucking great. So now, Triple H and Kurt are both in the parking lot, and a limo almost runs them over.
My thing with this is it's the same limo driver from all damn night, and it's the same exact limo. So I was like, oh, it's got to be Stephanie.
So, they're like, what's going on here? And then we cut to commercial. Or did we go to commercial or did we go to the barroom brawl?
Oh, we cut to Kai and Tai.
Okay, so Kai and Tai is back at the bar. They're playing pool. They are just shit house drunk.
Those kamikazes, man.
Yeah, and sake. I'm not drinking it hot. I'm not drinking hot liquor, I think is what JBL says. Or sorry, this is Bradshaw, not JBL. There's a big difference. Funaki pukes on Farouk's shoes, and then all hell breaks loose. And
Taka going through the light.
my fucking word. So there is a light hanging above.
It's a pool table light.
Pool table. It's a pool table light. Bradshaw, as if it was Taka that went through it, right?
Yes.
Okay. As if Taka getting a concussion, getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble wasn't enough. Bradshaw picks this poor man up.
One-armed,
holds him above the light, and then drives him down. He lands on the light and then lands on the pool table.
Then Funaki goes into a jukebox.
Yes.
And then you think that Taka's night can't get any worse.
Well, before that, though, he throws Funaki into the jukebox, and JR goes, play B-17. Then, if you thought the night couldn't get any worse,
JBL takes a whole pinball arcade game.
Lethal Weapon 3 pinball, to be specific.
And drops it on poor little Taka Michinoku.
Yes, and JR says, I was going to play that later tonight.
Jerry the King says, tilt.
Yeah. So now we cut to, oh, by the way, Barroom Brawl. Who would have ever guessed that that's where that was going? So now we cut to Al Snow is in WWF New York, and he does not want to be there.
I have a big problem with this segment.
Yeah.
They blurred out Head.
Did they really?
It's digitalized over her face.
Really?
Go back and watch it.
I missed that.
Head is censored.
I wonder why.
I don't know why, but I did not like it.
I wonder if it has something to do with that lawsuit, or not a lawsuit, but about how Walmart had to pull
the Head toys,
Al Snow toys,
because they promoted domestic violence.
Yeah.
I've never, I don't go back and watch the WWF stuff that much, but now I want to see what else Head is censored in.
Yeah. Unless maybe you just thought you saw it. So, but who knows? I believe you that you saw that, but it's like, man, really?
Everything was a blur, sir.
Damn. I have to go back and study that. But anyway, Al Snow is there, and he's asking people, who's your favorite WWF superstar? Triple H. Oh, no, that's not. Okay. Who's your favorite WWF superstar? The Rock. No, that's not the answer I wanted. Finds this drunk guy who just kind of walks into frame, and he goes, oh, who's your favorite WWF superstar? And he says Al Snow, but before he can finish saying Al Snow pulls the mic from him and starts talking, and this guy is just yelling as Al Snow is trying to talk.
Yes.
He is shit
live from New York.
Live. You can tell that from that point, they probably thought we need to stop this.
Well, I mean, Al Snow kept saying, cut it, cut it, cut it.
Yes, Al Snow was saying, cut it, cut it, cut it. So now, we missed a part. We cut to commercial, and so this is before the barroom brawl, because we cut to commercial when Triple H and Kurt when the limo first pulls up. Then we come back from commercial before the barroom brawl, and they're filming the limo, and JR is like, we don't know what's going on here, but we know Triple H and Kurt Angle are both in that limo.
That was after the barroom brawl.
Well, whenever. The point is,
your notes are all wrong.
The point is, we forgot to mention. So, Triple H gets out of the limo. Then Kurt Angle gets out of the limo. And then Vinnie Mac gets out of the limo. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Ha! Damn it, pal. And he, being Vince, pronouns, pal, just yells at Triple H and Kurt Angle. And you can tell that Triple H and Kurt Angle are playing the I'm
Sad
not mad.
children.
Yes, the sad child who just got told, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. You can tell that they are playing that so well because he's like, now, if I hear that you're fucking with my daughter anymore, I'll fucking kill you. Do you understand me? I'll fucking kill you. And you got a match with Shane tonight, too. Yeah. And if he gets hurt, I'll fuck you in the ass. That's essentially what Vince is saying.
Yes.
Vince is just the man. So then we cut to the Dudleys coming to the ring, and then we cut to The Rock coming to the ring, backstage, walking to the ring. Now back from commercial, and it is time for the main event.
Triple H and Mustafa start the match out.
Yeah. It's Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Shane McMahon versus The Rock and the Dudleys. Kurt Angle's singlet game was just on point during this era. Great singlet game. When The Rock's music hits, the pop was huge.
That Road Warrior pop, buddy.
And from that point on, the crowd is just at a steady 11.
It was almost electrifying.
The most electrifying man. The Rock's entrance as a champion is my favorite entrance of all time. Where he does the one arm and like flips the belt
up.
Yeah. You think I didn't do that in the backyard?
I guarantee you did.
100% did. 100% did. I just thought there was something cool about the way that he just casually carries the belt. You don't see that a lot anymore, do you? Where people are carrying the belt. They're
all wearing it since they got that Velcro.
Yeah, they all wear it since there's Velcro. I mean, Joe coming to the ring at All In with the belt slung over his shoulder was pretty fucking cool because that's just Joe just doesn't give a fuck. Zero fucks given with Samoa Joe. By the way, that match was fucking incredible. I know that we're a couple of weeks removed from it at this point, but the time of this recording, it all buffs out. So, standard 6-man tag.
Yep.
Just kind of going back and forth. At one point, Bubba gives Triple H a back body drop. And my fucking God, does Triple H get up there for him. Huge.
Triple H made him look goated.
Triple H was bumping his ass off for everyone. For Devon, for Bubba, for The Rock. Triple H took the was up. And I never would have thought that would have happened. Triple H taking the was up.
He put the gangsters over.
Yes. So you made the joke. You called him the gangsters light.
Yeah, we got Mustafa and Whitejack.
Terrible. Again, the crowd was just on fucking fire.
It was your basic TV main event, though. Everyone come out here, get your shit in.
But it was
happy.
Good, though.
It was.
We say basic in a good way.
Yes.
It was fucking awesome. Bubba gives somebody the Bubba bomb. I don't remember who. I think it was Shane. And at this point, they're not calling it the Bubba bomb yet.
No.
Because on commentary, they go, oh, that's modified full Nelson slam. So, ref bump. Bubba is about to scoop slam Triple H into the was up. Triple H's boom fucks the ref off. Then they hit the was up on Triple H. Devon get the tables. They go out and set a table up on the outside.
This gave it away for me right there.
Gave it away right there.
Bubba never goes and sets up tables.
Yeah.
If Bubba leaves the ring to get a table, it's not going to work as planned.
Yeah. So they set it up on the entranceway, which was weird because they usually bring it into the ring, 3D, boom. They throw Shane to the outside and they're about to powerbomb him. But then here comes Edge and Christian.
Yes, with chairs.
And I want to talk about, with chairs, I want to talk about how expertly done this was done. How well this was done. I'll get to it in a second. So, E and C come out and they fuck off the Dudleys. They hit Bubba with a concerto.
That was one of the ugliest concertos I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
not in a good way.
So the Dudleys are taken out now.
Yes.
So that factors them out for what happens next, because it was so organic the way that it happened, because you obviously have to get rid of the Dudleys because we're getting ready to do a beatdown on Rocky, but we can't have the Dudleys there because they're going to make the save, and we don't want to beat up the Dudleys because Triple H and Kurt Angle have nothing to do with the Dudleys. So, they're in a feud with Edge and Christian.
Long-term storytelling?
Oh my God, it's so foreign.
What?
It's so foreign of a concept. It is great, but nowadays, it's just so foreign of a concept. So they start beating down The Rock. The match pretty much just gets fucked off. The match is over. Who gives a fuck? Kurt Angle hits the Olympic Slam, which I did not know at this time they were calling it the Olympic Slam. I always thought in the WWF it was called the Angle Slam, and then when he got to TNA, they started calling it the Olympic Slam. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, it started on WWF as the Olympic.
Olympic Slam into a pedigree, and then we just end the show with them just putting the boots to The Rock. JR is losing his goddamn mind on commentary. The crowd is going nuts. Boom. Sudden ending. Now, here's what I want to bring up. This is why this era is so fucking good. Because every Raw, it's the perfect Raw ending. The heel on top, beating up the baby. The crowd is fucking hot. Jim Ross is losing his fucking mind on commentary. Cut. See you next week.
It makes you want to see it next week, though.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not fucking Scott Steiner kidnapping your girlfriend in a hotel room.
You son of a bitch! Great ending. Great ending. Because now it makes me want to watch SmackDown.
Yes.
And see what happens next.
It makes you want to see what happens between Jericho and Benoit.
Yes.
It makes you want to see what happens between Edge, Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys.
Yes, sir.
What's next for RTC? Steve Blackman against TNA with the whole hardcore bullshit? It even draws you in for that. Did they do a whole show where it makes you want to continue the story going?
Such a foreign concept, my brother.
See what they should have done. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
They should have started the show out making no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
Stephanie McMahon screaming in the ring about who her baby daddy is.
Yep.
Okay. No ploy, no reason or nothing, and had a naked, I don't know who's back, Boston Brawler back, Brooklyn Brawler back then.
Yeah.
In the ring with her. That he's going to shove Kryptonite so far up.
Kurt Angle's ass.
Not even Kurt Angle. It's got to be someone lower than that.
Crash Holly.
Crash Holly's ass.
Yep.
And then they should have just went off script the whole night. Oh, this is just stories. This is all bullshit. Like, that would put fucking seats in asses.
Or asses in seats.
No, it would put seats in asses.
Yeah, that would be uncomfortable, though.
It would be, but you know what? That's how WCW does it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Great Raw.
Great.
Great Raw. Everyone go out of your way to watch it. Again, it's August 14th, 2000. I know the way Peacock organizes shit is fucking stupid. It's like seasons.
Yeah.
You got to find the season. I don't know the fucking season. Just look for the 2000s.
I think it was like season 5.
No, it wouldn't have. Well, it could have been. Could have been like 5 or 6.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Somewhere in that range. Definitely wasn't double digits yet.
No.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts. It was fucking awesome.
So what do you rate it?
Man, I give it a solid 4 out of 5.
Oh, we're not going out of 10 anymore?
No, I always do 5.
Okay. Well, if we're going out of 5, I'm going to have to give it a 4.
Yeah. I want to give it a 3.5, but I think I want to be generous and give it a 4.
I want to give it a 5 just for the nostalgia factor because that like brought back so many damn memories of my childhood. But like I have to be a realist with it. There's some stuff I didn't like. Like I thought the whole Shane McMahon shit was drug on like Muda.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like phenomenal, bro.
It was a good Raw. Like I said, August 14th, 2000. Definitely go check that out. Well, gang, thanks for sticking around with us. This was This was a good one. It feels good to watch good wrestling
It
again.
feels good to talk about good wrestling.
No shit. We're going to get off here, gang. We're going to get ready for Paige Show. Where can they hear Paige Show, Madrox?
Blogspot Radio? Nope, that's not right. Home and Garden no.
Okay, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Madrox just left me hanging there.
I was coming to it, man. You got to build a suspense.
$5 and above tier, you can hear Paige Show. And I'm going to warn you right now, Dickie is in a fucking sorely mood today. So this is probably going to be a good Paige Show.
Guys, I'm going to poke the fucking bear for your entertainment.
Oh, I'm not very happy about a certain thing that happened to me last weekend. So I'll just put it to you that way. Again, guys, sound like a broken record, I know, but 5-star reviews all around the board. Share with a friend that you think would like us. If you want to support us, again, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. You can find me on Instagram at @attaboydickie. You can find Madrox on Madrox or at Madrox_BSB, but we've established that you really don't fuck with that much anymore. So you can find Madrox mostly. He's little peek behind the curtain ski. He's the one that runs the MadBash Facebook page mostly. I'll come in and I'll do some posts, but chances are if you message the MadBash Facebook page, 9 times out of 10 you're probably talking to Madrox. So
unfortunately.
Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. And our lovely, lovely patrons, we will see you on Paige Show.
Bye.